Senator, your number one piece of legislation is a bill that would establish a medical school in the Valley. Today's a big day for you. It's before the Senate Higher Education Committee. Tell us what your bill does and how important it is to you.
Well, we had a hearing this morning in the Higher Education, Senate Higher Education Committee that's chaired by Senator Judy Ceferini from Laredo. My bill was left pending, but after today's proceedings on the floor, they're going to call a special meeting to kick the bill out. The bill is comprehensive. It really sends a strong message to the Board of Regents, University of Texas, and also the Higher Education Coordinating Board, letting them know that they can continue to study and address the issue of a medical school in the Valley. One of the amendments I had to put on the committee substitute, as we call it, was that no funds would be expanded until after the year 2015. That's 6 years from now. I think that's ample time to really get ready and take the additional steps that are necessary to create a full-fledged medical school, a freestanding institution, which I think would be something that would bring many opportunities, and in terms of economic development, is something that would really help us out in our area of the state. So I'm very excited. This is my number one piece of legislation and what I've been trying to get done this session. So I'm very pleased, and the process will continue. My son, Representative Eddie Lucio III, will be carrying the measure in the House, and there's several other bills. But I just want for all of us as a delegation to come together, work together, and make sure that by the end of the session we have some meaningful legislation that has been passed, legislation that we can count on will establish that medical school in the near future.
Why did you have to defer any sort of fiscal note until 2015? Why are you having to work with a bill which basically doesn't commit the state to paying anything at the moment?
Well, any bill, regardless if it's $1 million or 50 million or 100 million, obviously the fiscal note on a full-fledged medical school, even though it goes from 2 to 4 years, as we have it with the Regional Academic Health Center, would have been significant. And well, it would be, I estimate over $100 million. That would be significant because of budget constraints, because of the economic downturn. Obviously, we're not taking up and considering any major piece of legislation that will create a big fiscal note to the state. I'm pretty excited at this point. We worked long hours this session already. We feel like, you know, we're on the right track, and hopefully before the end of this week we can see our bill be prepared to come to the floor next week.
If you were successful with the bill and you got it through the Senate and the House, it became law. Legally, what does it obligate the state to do? Does it tell us that we are going to have for sure a medical school in the Valley?
Well, quite frankly, and the way I read it and the way I've explained it in committee is that it doesn't force or mandate the Board of Regents to have to establish a medical school, but it directs them to continue to plan for the creation of a medical school. And I think that's significant because already we have studies, we have a lot of background information, especially by the Higher Education Coordinating Board, that indicates that we are the next region of the state that is in line to get our own medical school or our health science center, where we can create other disciplines and add other disciplines in the future. I foresee a school of dentistry, internal medicine. I foresee many things happening once the medical school is established. So it's a wonderful feeling to know that the work we did back in the early 90s that created the Regional Academic Health Center now it's on the way to create our own freestanding medical institution.
It seemed this morning, in this morning's hearing, that you had some sort of disagreement with Senator Duncan. What were his concerns and how did you allay his fears?
I think the concerns is that we have X number of dollars to work with, and the concern of any senator or representative that represents an area in the state that has a medical school or that has an academic health center dealing with medicine, that their funds will be cut. I mean, it's just, like anything else, but I pointed out that over the years, the 22 years that I've been here, I've been extremely fair to all areas of the state. My vote has always gone, for example, in the last couple of sessions, I've supported El Paso, and they got their own medical school after many, many years of struggling to do so. So I pointed out also that in the base budget of this year's budget, we find over $350 million to address HIV. That's a significant amount of money that addresses other issues. So it's a matter of priorities, and it's a matter of who we want to help. In our area, obviously, historically, we've been underserved, underfunded for many, many, many years. And of course, we have done a lot. We've accomplished a lot. And it's time for us to take it to the next level. We got a regional academic health center. With that, we also have a school of public health at the University of Texas in Brownsville, and we have the School of Research at UT Pan American. So those three components together will hopefully continue to expand and create the medical school we're looking for.
Where would the medical school be located in the Valley under your bill?
Well, I think we need to look at where the Regional Academic Health Center is located now, and we need to continue to try to do everything we can to expand that facility. But the medical school will impact the entire Valley. We had letters of support from the Mayor of McAllen. We have letters of support from the former Chancellor, Bill Cunningham, and others who worked with me in the 1990s to create the Regional Academic Health Center. There are a lot of people behind this effort. Today we had Dr. Nolan Pettis from Harlingen that came up, along with Mayor Chris Boswell, who also was one of the witnesses. So we have a significant amount of people behind the issue. It's now time for us to pass this measure, ensure that we continue to plan and get ready for a medical school in the next 6 years.
Recently, Texas Tech University, Chancellor Hance started to show interest in developing a medical school in the Valley. Is it too late for them to get involved? Are they out of the picture with your bill, or could there be competition between UT and Texas Tech to see who can deliver the best facility for the Valley? Well, there's been an interest in the Valley by so many other institutions in other categories of higher education. I think at this point we need to work with those people we've been working with. The University of Texas system is a great system to work with. We don't want to close the doors on anyone, but the Valley, it's explosive in terms of its population. The medical school will certainly bring to the Valley, great opportunities, not only for medical education, for economic development, but we will see many businesses come to the Valley to set up shop because they know that their future and the future of the Valley is going to be bright once we have a medical school there. I've been given some figures that have blown my mind. Over $100 billion of economic impact money a year. That's a lot of money. That creates a lot of jobs, economic prosperity, and quality of life. So I'm very, very excited about this particular bill. That's why it's my #1 bill. Anything else you'd like to add? I want to thank all the people that have come, that have written in, that have emailed us, that have called in, that have supported this particular issue over the years. I hope that during this legislative session we can be successful with this bill and hopefully take it to the governor's office and take it to the next level, next step. And hopefully we'll be around in 6 years. If not, those that will be around certainly will have the groundwork already laid out for them.